certainly had a long... There we go, he started to drip there. Right, I guess I'm going to have to make a video after all. I was not planning on making a video of a simple oil change and removing my under trays just to get stones out, but Travis has inspired me with his diligence just by going that extra mile that I just thought I'd had to sort of make a video. So I'm now going to go stand over there and bring you what video should follow after this. But it literally started when Travis was putting a piece of cardboard up to get the oil filter out, and I go, what's all that about? Travis, just explain to me what that piece of cardboard is again, please.
Annoyingly, where they've situated the oil filter, as you unscrew it and the oil drops out, it completely covers the subframe, makes quite a mess, and then you've got to clean it up. So just a little trick, we've just got an old air filter box, tore it into shape, tucked it up there, undid the filter, and as you can see, it's nicely just run down there, saving me no mess to clean up. Just a little trick. Absolutely brilliant.
This is why I love coming to this place. It's absolutely small little touches like this. It's a great place to come. I just feel at home here every time, and Travis, top guy working on my car. I am here at Autofarm for an end of year oil change on my 981 GT4. What a year it's been. I've had the car for about 18 months now. I've done pretty much everything I could actually ever think of with the car since purchase. I've done UK road trips, I've done a France road trip, mountain passes, absolutely phenomenal. I've done a track day. This video may appear even before I put the track day video up because I still need to edit that, and I literally think my kind of tour de force is complete with my experiences on the Cayman. So as I said, I'm just here for a regular oil change. It's certainly something I'm going to do every year in my 981 GT4. The car needs to be serviced by Porsche, obviously, because it's got a warranty, so I can't get any servicing work done here, but I'll certainly am getting the oil change, and I'm going to drop all the under trays and just sort of shake out all the stones that may have been picked up this year, give it a final wash when I get home, and I'm actually looking forward to parking it up for the autumn season. The leaves are just falling around me. Autofarm is such a beautiful location. I think for me it is my #1 destination to come to for work on my car, and actually that trumps an OPC. If only they could do warranty work or work on a Porsche, which is all within the official Porsche warranty, that would be just a cherry on the cake for me, because I just love coming down here. It's just it's got a really nice vibe about the place, and nice setting, and I'm away from busy towns and all that kind of stuff. But anyway, so yes, this is kind of like an end of year or end of season video from my perspective, and kind of like let's just sort of go through all the things that I've kind of learned about Cayman ownership, and let's kind of start with my recent track day experience. A couple of things that just occurred to me right now. If you've never done a track day before and you're wearing a helmet, because you have to wear a helmet whether it's open face or not, your head is actually pretty far forward in the seat, because obviously there's about this much material behind your head. So I did find myself actually, it wasn't actually the most comfortable of seats to drive in. Obviously we've got bucket seats, they can't be reclined. I do know that apparently you can get spacers or risers that will tilt the chair back a bit to help with track day usage, but that's just something I thought I'd point out, is that on track, as you're wearing a helmet, you could be better with actually seats that recline, i.e. not the fixed buckets. That could make for a more enjoyable, or at least a more comfortable experience. So that's one thing about the helmet. Secondly, manual PDK. I definitely would go for a PDK for track, definitely. I found the manual a bit busy, and I just wanted to sort of focus on my kind of speeds, where you place the car and so on, and I found that the whole gear change thing was just sort of getting in the way. For me, PDK for the win on track. I'm glad I did the track day. Not entirely convinced I would do another track day, and that's just me personally. I think one of the reasons why I may have chosen the tagline "Enjoying Life in Cars to the Max" is I think I do prefer road trips. Love the France road trip, mountain passes, and plus I guess there's more of a connection with the people that you're on the road trip. As you kind of stop, you have coffee, you have a chat and all that kind of good stuff. So the track day was a bit, I guess, intense, you could say, and I think I realised myself, I have done Goodwood before in a Jag XFR, and that was an automatic gearbox. Loved that, totally loved that. That was in summer. I think this kind of session at Goodwood in the 981 GT4 started off where the surfaces were damp. You can see the spray being kicked up by the cars, and speaking to a veteran who was there 14 times on track this year, he span off, and he told me he's never span off this year. And he said the reason was there was a Goodwood revival event, I think, the week before we went. So that's basically 1910 to 1920 or 30s cars, very old cars. And he did say they were all dropping oil on track, for that event. So when we turned up, we had the leftover oil droppings and water, mix that all in together, and it does make for quite a slippery surface. So I was very careful in the morning session. It dried up in the afternoon, and then I actually realised my driving skills were the limiting factor there, and I'm not too sure I want to learn in my car, because I mean, for me to learn, you've got to get close to the edge of your limits and maybe the tyres, and I was just not entirely comfortable pushing it in my car, because coming into corner, I mean, Goodwood's a very high speed circuit. You can be coming into corners at, when I say corners, they're not sharp, kind of like chicanes or anything, but you can come into corners at 100, 110. There was a guy in a GR Yaris and a Civic Type R steaming through, if you know what you're doing on track. And you know, there's a few camber changes, you just need to know what you're doing. So yeah, I'm not sure I want to be doing that in my car with a manual gearbox, and I think it made me realise how precious the car is to me. I don't want to ever total that car or risk it being damaged, because I've heard with Goodwood it's a wide track, but if you do make any mistakes, you've got to keep the car on track. You don't want to be coming off track onto the grass, over curbs, because then you're in a whole world of pain and your car is probably going to take some damage during that process. So glad I did the track day. I'd recommend it to everyone, and I'd definitely say pick Goodwood over any other track in the UK, because they limit the number of cars on track. They're very good with discipline. They don't allow any sort of hooligan antics, as I've actually personally experienced on an MSV track day at Brands Hatch. So I highly recommend it. Whether you do it again is up to you. I know some of you are track warriors and you live for the tracks. I think for me, it's road trips. I love the social aspect of road trips, and just sort of getting out and chatting and just enjoying life in cars to the max. So that's that. I'll see if anything sort of shakes out from the under trays. There might be a few little bits of gravel and stones from the France trip. Then I'll get it back home, give it a good wash, and that's pretty much it for me. So I guess I just wanted to sort of say thank you all. We've hit 5,000 subscribers. 5,000 subscribers, okay? So thank you all for your support on this channel. As I've said before, it's not a general car review channel. We are focused on the Porsche Cayman, and we always will be, because I think that's where my heart lies. I've bought my forever car, and it will give me joy, you know, over the winter months when I'm not using the car, because I think my first year of ownership, I did drive the Cayman through the kind of winter months. It's not really enjoyable for me. So this year I'm making the decision to park it up. Probably beginning of November, it'll be parked up, and I won't drive it until probably February, probably March, to be honest. And that's just a personal choice that I'm making, because that's how I enjoy the car, and plus absence makes the heart grow fonder, and when I come back to the car I'll be raring to go. So that's it for me. I hope you'll have a wonderful kind of time in your Caymans over the winter months. Depending on where you are, the weather may still hold for good driving, so all that kind of good stuff, enjoying life and cars to the max. And I'll see you on the other end of the rainbow, enjoying life and cars to the max. See ya.